types of heavy metals that we commonly see involved in that toxic environment. And then obviously, the last one is environmental. So your environmental toxins are going to be things, well, let's just go make it very simple. The air you breathe, the food you expose to, and then other types of chemicals. So the air you're breathing, right? So we have pollution around us. It's very hard to get away from pollution. Obviously, other countries are probably worse than us, but we have a polluted environment that we live in, especially if you're closer to cities. But even if you're near agriculture, there's still that pollution you're being seen through food, farming, animals, those sort of things. The food quality. Our foods are, have an abundance of pesticides in them. Even some of the organic fruits and vegetables, there's a certain level that is suitable to still have the pesticides in those foods. So we have to be very careful about what we're doing and how we're eating in regards to our foods. So we can get a lot of chemicals in there. There's a lot of chemicals that are being placed in foods to make you want to eat more, to make it taste better. So all these things can be built up from an environmental source. It's interesting when you look on the back of a bag of potato chips. What else do you need except potatoes in that bag? But you have this long list of items that are associated there, and it's just only for flavoring and helping you or wanting you to eat more and tricking your brain that you're still hungry. And then the chemicals are kind of associated with those foods as well, but not only chemicals from a food source, but actually the things that are being sprayed into your gardens, weed products like Roundup. These types of things are just get exposed to our grounds, and next thing you know, you're walking out there, or you're playing in the grass or the water. We're watering your lawn. It just you get exposed to these things, and these chemicals over time have been shown through research to increase risk of cancers and other neurodegenerative diseases that can be problematic for you. So these types of toxins start to build up in our body. Now, why is it that we are all being exposed to these types of toxins, but it's only impacting certain people? So I'm going to go into this next topic, and because this is such a massive topic, I'm probably going to do a second or even maybe a third video on this, so make sure you bear with me, stay with me on this, come back to watch one of these videos again. But the exposure happens for two different reasons. Or I shouldn't say exposure, but the reason why it impacts certain people and not others is for two reasons. The first one is genetics. So there are some of us who have certain genetics that are going to be more vulnerable to these types of toxins than others. And you can test for these types of things, right? So we can test, there's something called an HLA-DR-DQ. This test will show you what type of biotoxins that you are vulnerable to. So you can run this easily done blood test, and the information will spit out in a genetic form. So then you have to take that information and plug it into a genetic profiling software, which will disseminate the information. So once you understand what this is, it'll tell you your vulnerabilities. Is it mold? Is it Marcons? Is it Lyme disease? So you know exactly if there's a problem going on, we can really hone in to find out what's causing your specific toxicity, so you're not having to run multiple tests. So genetics play a major role, not only for the fact of biotoxins, but for heavy metal toxicity. Some genetics leave you more vulnerable than others in regards to these toxins. The second one, which is very, very important, is detoxification. This is huge, because the only way you're going to be able to get these toxins out of your body is to make sure that you have a solid detoxification system. Now, most of you have maybe done some detoxes in the past or cleanses. That's not what I'm referring to. What I'm referring to are the systems that are involved in your ability to detoxify. There are multiple, but I'm gonna just make it very simple and talk about the main ones. One of the main ones is the liver. One of the liver's most important job is to detoxify. You have three phases: phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. They all have to be working efficiently. but essentially phase 2 and phase 3 are the most important for detoxification of these types of toxins. So how are you going to know if you have good quality detoxification? It has to be analyzed, has to be evaluated. Unfortunately, it's not traditionally done in the traditional model. The other area is the gallbladder. So the gallbladder is another area involved in detoxification. It sends out bile for emulsification purposes, and also can help transmit these toxins from the liver through the into the gallbladder, eventually into the gut and being eliminated. So the third one is the gut, your intestinal tract. Is your intestinal tract functioning optimally? Is it digesting appropriately? Is it absorbing? Is there inflammation? Do you have good microbiome? Is it able to eliminate, right? Do you have symptoms of constipation, looseness, nausea, or bloating? Well, those are symptoms of a poor functioning gut, and that may be a poor ability to detoxify. And obviously you have your kidneys, and your skin is another component to detoxification. So we look at these types of protocols here with detoxification, and how do you know that it's functioning optimally? And you don't, right? Please do not make the mistake of thinking, I feel good, I must be healthy. That is completely wrong. That's like saying, my car's running good, it must be good, and the next thing you know, it breaks down. Well, why did it break down? Well, who knows why it broke down? You have to take it to someone to get investigated to find out what's going on. So we don't want to wait until disastrous occurrence occurs. But think about this, you can have one or both of these problems. Most of the individuals and the practice members that we have in our practice have both. They have genetic issues and they have poor detoxification. So what I'm going to talk about next time is we're going to go a little more deep into genetics and detoxification and some of the things that we do to evaluate to find out how we can help somebody to see what's going on under the surface. So today's video was more of an introductory period to toxins. You can see how expansive toxins are, and we're going to talk about as well in a follow-up video how it impacts the body, how it can increase the risk of someone with diabetes or cause diabetes, autoimmune diseases, thyroid problems, and a whole slew of other chronic degenerative diseases. So hopefully today was helpful. It's starting you to get that excitement to saying, oh my gosh, maybe I have this problem. Maybe that's what's causing my condition, my thyroid problem, my autoimmune, my diabetes, which is possibly the case. So if you have any specific questions or comments, please post them below the video. I'll make sure I go through them and answer them directly. If there's anything specific that I'm going to be discussing next time, I'll just make sure I say be on the lookout for the next video because we'll be discussing that. And if you want to find out more about if you have these types of problems, if you have some of these toxins, you can always reach out to our office. I'll post our contact information below. You can reach out to schedule a one-on-one virtual consultation with me so we can start the evaluation process to see if toxins could be the hidden link, what I refer to as the blind spot, that you don't even know what's going on behind the surface that is causing all the problems, and what we need to do to eliminate these toxins to get your body healthy again and to get it into a place that it can withstand it in the future if it ever comes in contact with these toxins. Make sure that if this is something that you feel this video is full of value and you feel like somebody in your network deserves to see this, make sure you share it to that individual or share it to your network. Somebody can get some information and get some value out of this, I guarantee it. Make sure you like our page, because as I go live like this, you can come watch these live videos. I try to stay as live as possible, not go back and forth between the chat, because I want to make sure that I'm connecting with you here. And then lastly, if you want to learn more about what I do in the practice, see some of our previous practice members and some of their testimonials, you can go to our YouTube page. It's my full name, Jason Shumard. That's S-H-U-M as in Mary, A-R-D as in dog, the letter D, the letter C, so Jason Shumard DC. Go to the YouTube page. You can watch some more of those videos there. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Please stay a part of this. I'm going to do this probably in a 3 or maybe even 4-part series on these toxins, because I guarantee it'll be worth your time. You'll get some good information. Have a great rest of your day and week.